Good morning, everybody. It is September 4th, and right now it is 8:19 a.m. Market's going to open in 11 minutes. Got the Nasdaq futures contract up here. We need to remove some lines from the charts and start fresh this morning with our daily pre-market analysis. Let's look at the daily chart first. Pull this baby up. All right, so I'm going to leave yesterday's low on here on the chart. I think that's going to be important. I'm going to draw out this level down here, bottom of the Bollinger Band. This is just a big zone of support down here. You can see all these wicks on the daily. Um, yeah, this one's going to be big area down here. It's a large area though. I mean, it's 100 and some points, right? Yeah, 170 points or something. So it's a big zone, but you can see how prices come down here, and we've wicked off of it several times. Testing it. Maybe we want to break 23,000. If we broke 23,000, we're looking at a move, down. I'm going to mark that zone out there. Lots of levels here. I'm looking at this next level down here, 22,800. So we got some pretty big areas of support below price. As far as resistance, we have a clear descending trend line on the daily. There's only 2 touches though, so it's not particularly significant yet. The more touches you have on one of these trend lines, the more valid it is. I'm going to mark out 23,600, 20 SMA on the daily. So lots of levels here. These two levels will probably converge as price moves around, time goes on. We did have some news this morning, which I forgot to mention. There was some disappointing job uh, job number, I don't know, numbers or what it is. Let's see if, oh yeah, labor market growth slows dramatically in August, blah, blah, blah. Added just 54,000 jobs. That's significant because tomorrow is NFP, non-farm payrolls. So this number is kind of a preview of what we might expect tomorrow with NFP. So this is disappointing. NFP might be disappointing, and so traders are keeping that in mind, maybe anticipating disappointing NFP numbers tomorrow, which will probably send the market down. So anyways, here are some of those. There's a lot of noise going on in here. I can just explain it real quick. Yellow lines are gold lines are Bollinger Bands, upper band, middle band, lower band. This is Bollinger Bands. This is just a 20 SMA in the middle, and then you've got 2 standard deviations away. So each one of these is 2 standard deviations away. A lot of traders use them for identifying overextended, like for mean reversion trading, overextended or oversold, overbought levels that price is going to want to revert back to the mean. I use it kind of for that sometimes. I'm not really a mean reversion trader, but I like to use them for support and resistance levels, target levels as well. Price will probably get sucked up here, sucked down here if we begin to move down into that area, etc. We've got some consolidation going on here the last 16, 20 hours or so. Let's take a look. If I'm looking here as we're moving down, we've got clear level of resistance up here at 23,530-ish. This is probably a pretty good pocket to pick up to the upside if price wants to go, but I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking we're going to want to move down today. I have been, every time I come in pre-market, I'm like, oh, I think it's bullish, I'm bearish. I can't tell you how many times I've jumped into a trade and in pre-market thinking that I know the direction for the day, and I've been totally wrong and just completely screwed. So I've learned to let the market open and then see what happens. But I do see a pocket to the upside here that we probably would be able to grab 23,000. It's about 50 points in here. You might be able to pick up to the upside, but my bear instinct here is to my bear sense. I'm trying to say spidey sense and put bear in there. I don't know how to do it. Is price wants to move the downside, but let's keep moving down. So there's our 4 hour. Hourly is looking more bearish, even though price has clearly put in you know lower higher lows here, higher lows to the upside. We're still holding that higher low. Let's see if it can hold it coming into market open. Support's going to be right here on the hourly, and then got, another drop down here to the lower band, and there's a low volume node in here. Lots of levels going on this morning. If I had to, we're gonna have to see what order flow does. I'd be looking, break of 23,450 this swing low. Maybe get sucked in down here. That might be a tiny scalp. This is the yellow line is point of control, and then a larger move down here to 23,400-ish. So that's 50 points right there. So I guess you've got a couple trade options right off the bat. One is going to be, the break of this level here. Lots of touches up there. The break of that, you're probably looking at 23,600. But with the negative news, well, the disappointing news coming in, coupled with NFP tomorrow, I would think that this is probably more in play. So yeah, I might be looking for this to break, price to move, and then price to move down into here, and maybe try to take some points off of that. I probably wouldn't be looking to capture the whole move. This is a little concerning to me, point of control in this support area, that if we, come through here, we just do a quick wick, come back up, which seems to have been happening the last couple of days, that we break these initial support levels, and then we just wick through it and completely reverse the other way, only to come back down later. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking at coming in this morning. Remember, this dotted line I draw out is going to be where Delta opens. Market's going to open 5 minutes. It's probably going to open somewhere down here. Let's move it there for now. We're above zero line on Delta, but only up 0.1%, below VWAP. So mixed signals here. Yeah, really gonna have to let it open and see what happens. But I am looking at this pocket to pick up this morning. We're gonna want to, again, we're gonna see price moving down through here. I want to see Delta moving down below zero and really begin putting in lower highs, and moving down along with price to confirm it. Yesterday was a really good Delta divergence setup. Let me see if I can find it real quick on the maybe 2000 chart. Where was that Delta divergence yesterday? Yeah, I think it put in over here. Try to zoom in a little bit. Right here, as price was moving up, really good example. Price was moving up, 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 and then we hit this high. When price made this high, then we put in this high. Look what Delta did. Made a high here, but then it did not put a new high in here. We actually put in a lower high, and that's just Delta divergence. Delta starts moving down as price is moving up, and a really good opportunity to the downside. I wish I could say I took that, but I didn't see it. I took something over here for a loss, and then I took a scalp. I can't remember what it was, over in here maybe, or maybe here. Ended up right on the day yesterday, but probably should have been more patient, waited for this. That's a really, really nice setup. And it just, when your market's gonna open in a few minutes here, but when you're watching the chart all morning and you're watching it, I mean, the market opened over here at 8:30, and this didn't happen until 9:45, an hour and 15 minutes. You've been watching the charts all through this shit chop, this false kind of break to the upside, only to get shoved back down, then another move back up. You're just kind of mentally exhausted, you're just like, fuck, I really just don't want to jump into another one of these trades, and just you're just not mentally in the right mindset for it. So sometimes just being more patient, or really just moving up to higher time frames on your charts and removing all this noise, is really the way to go. So always learning. I've been trading for 10 years. Yeah, 10, 11 years. I've been trading futures for 5 years since COVID. So still always learning. All right, so market's going to open here in a couple minutes, and let's see if we can't find some good trade setups. Yeah, I'm looking at that move to the downside or move to the up. Inside here is just all shit chop, and I'm not gonna take the bait market. All right, guys, let's see what happens. All right, everybody. So we are back. I am most likely done trading for the day, although I want to take this short. I'm not going to. It's past 10:30. And nothing good for me ever happens after 10:30. So let's take a look at what we had happen today. We had a couple setups that we had drawn out. They actually both came into play, and one I took a loss on, and one I took a win on. So I'm basically flat for the day. We can just pull up the hourly real quick. I think that was kind of what we were looking at this morning. Drew out a few levels. See if we can read through this noise. We had this level of resistance up here coming in pre-market. Our idea was that if we broke through here, we would make that move up. We broke this resistance level, we'd come up to the top of the Bollinger Band right up here. I did end up taking this long as it came through. I got a few points, and then it just dumped, and I took a stop for a loss. So the first one was a loss. The second trade came into play not too long. So we just moved down through all this chop, right? All this noise, basically a bunch of noise in here. We came down. I've got a level on here that shouldn't be on here. I don't think I had this on there. We came down to this area of support. This line was like right here. Coming in this 23,450 level. We did end up breaking through that and moving down right or almost to 23,400. So this move here I did take and took a win. So I just ended up flat on the day. One win, one loss, and that was it. So that's all she wrote for me today. We did get this nice push back up to the upside. These are hourly candles. So, that's just kind of the way it goes. I think it's getting kind of choppy with NFP tomorrow coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up somewhere around VWAP at the end of the day, but who knows? One thing I did want to show was over here. What was it? Good example, delta divergence, right here. So let's take a look at what happened. So we had this, price started putting in lower highs, moving up. It's kind of flat, lower highs. And then put in a higher high up here for the day. Then we had a pullback, and this looked like it was a short. We took out these swing lows. Even this one is actually considered, we probably took that out by a point. But we took this guy out. We took these guys out. This looked like it was going to keep dropping. But what we could see is that as price put in a new low over here on Delta, we broke this low. We put in a new low. We did not put in, sorry, we put a new low in on price. New low in over here on price. I'm going to clean this up. We had a support level here, put in a new low. You can look at Delta here and here. Delta did not put in a new low, actually put in a higher low. So that's just some Delta divergence there. And this would just kind of be considered a bear trap. And then we make that move back to the upside. Yeah, it's really the only thing I wanted to point out. Interesting. The other two setups came into play. Like I said this morning, we had that break to the upside. You can see it right here. This is the long I took. Looked like we were going to make that move, and I just got stopped out as it came back in. Got stopped out there, and then we took a short here. As we broke lower, we could see Delta moving lower. We took a short down here. It was right into this area, and it was basically, just a flat day. So yeah, that's all she wrote for me today. And then we just started moving back up into this range and didn't take anything in there. Yep. Anyways, I hope you guys had a good trading day. And tomorrow is NFP 7:30 in the morning. That's getting released. So make sure you are, I don't know, maybe you're going to trade it. I don't know, maybe. I'm not going to trade it. But if you are, best of luck to you. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.